Oh, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Dead Funny Podcast. I'm your host, Chris. Join with me today, we got a skeleton crew. Dark Canter. I kind of fucked up, guys. I sent out the email invite for everybody to be here because we were going to record the podcast for the week before Thanksgiving and the podcast for the week of Thanksgiving, and I sent it out. I was a good guy. I did it on time. I didn't tag anybody in it, so no one knew about the invite besides me. And luckily enough for me, we normally plan our podcast around days that Canter is off, so I was still able to get Canter.
Yeah, I'm here. Just me, though.
Yep, skeleton crew today, but that's okay. So I guess we'll start off with some... Canter, you're an anime guy. We'll start off with some anime. How about that?
Sure.
I could sit here and talk about New World for days, but I don't know how much the population wants that. So, I don't remember... Did you ever watch Cowboy Bebop?
Maybe about 6 or 7 episodes, and they were, like, sporadic here and there, so I don't have a good continuity.
You should really go back and finish it. Like, that's something you should really do. Because I think there's only, like... There's not that many episodes of Cowboy Bebop, is there? Like, maybe...
I don't know.
Very short. I want to say maybe top, I would say 20, but I think it's more like the 12. Yeah, I think it's just like 12 or something like that. It might be 20. 26. 26.
26.
One season. Probably, in my opinion, one of the greatest animes ever. I do not like space at all. I've been very vocal about that. You know this. Not a space fan whatsoever. I mean, I grew up watching this fucking anime, man. Like, this shit was, like, big for my childhood. Like, I fucking loved this whenever I was a kid. Spike was my guy. Like, when you watch, like, when you get around to watching it, I mean, obviously you've seen him, but Spike... You kind of see, like, the type of person that I go after as far as, like, my favorite characters. Spike and Cloud, like, they're so fucking close besides their hair color. It's almost the exact same, right? So, no, huge Cowboy Bebop fan. Obviously, I've said this multiple times on the channel. Yeah, my brother was out at the mall the other day, and he texted me. He was like, yo, because he actually got the first set of the Cowboy Bebop Pops that came out. They did a very limited set. That set is very expensive these days. Faye is like $80, Jet's like 30, Ed's like 30 to 40, Spike is like 200 to 300.
Oh, yeah.
So he has that, and he's wanting to get rid of it. And I was like, well, if you're gonna fucking sell it, like, at least sell it to me, you know. So fucking at least you know it's got a good home. Da 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 da. So he was out at the mall, and he sent me a text. He was like, yo. I found this Faye Pop, and I was like, you found another Faye Pop? I was like, well, I already got the one. Well, they just released a new set, and I was like, oh shit. So it's actually her in her, like, evening gown in one of the episodes, which is really, really nice.
Look at that.
I know, really well done. I even got, like, this little, like, plastic case to, like, our stand to keep her up. Really nice, neat. I fucking love it. It's great. And then he goes, I think that one he saw at Box Lunch, and then he goes over to Hot Topic and finds that they have the whole team. So this is my second favorite. I'm really happy about this one. It's Jet, and if Jet's ever known for anything, it's either 1, cooking, or 2, taking care of his little bonsai trees. So it's him taking care of his little bonsai tree, which I fucking love. They got Spike in one episode where he's doing some shit out on the ship, and he's got, like, this, like, little fucking sword and stuff with him. And then Ed on her scooter, and she's got a little iron in her backpack back there. Yep, good old Edward. And then Julia, which is the love interest, the main love interest in the movie, or in the show. So, yeah, I was like, well, you know what? This kind of put me in the mood, so I decided I was going to watch Cowboy Bebop again. I've watched it multiple times. But I actually decided something different. I decided I was going to watch the Netflix adaptation, Cowboy Bebop, again, because I've seen it once, and I gave it a glowing 0 out of 10 stars. I didn't give it 0 out of 10, but I'm not a fan. Not even close. I mean, it's just another one of those situations where it's not even woke killed that show. It's just the people who decided that they were going to take a masterpiece and was just like, we're going to recreate this. That's literally what they said. Most of the episodes are almost shot for... There's, like, multiple scenes that are shot for shot out of the anime. Like, shot for shot. And I don't think the cast was bad. I wasn't the biggest fan of the chick that played Faye, but I could live with her playing Faye. My big thing with it was, and I loved who played Spike and Jet. My biggest thing with it is that you can't tell people you're gonna do a remake and do what the fuck you want. Like, that's not how that works. Like, those don't coexist. Those don't go together. Sorry, I'm trying to put this fucking pop up, and I'm sure that's loud in the mic. Anyways, unboxing time! No, anyways. Oh, shit. But yeah, so that's not how that works. You gotta fucking, like, know what the hell you're planning on doing. And so either make your own or be faithful. One or the other. You don't get to choose both. And so I'm sitting here and I'm watching it again, trying to find any redeeming qualities. Any. There's none. There isn't. There's none. Like I said, the actors I liked. I think that they did a good job. Just the person who wrote it and directed it is a fucking idiot. So that's just plain and simple. You're terrible and you shouldn't fucking direct anything. Ever. Again.
Jeez.
Find a new fucking job, because that one sucked.
If the story was not Cowboy Bebop, would it be okay if it was their own characters? Or is it just sucks as a story?
The people who actually gave the show a good review actually brought that up. And I thought that was a good thing, where it's like, if they would have just said, hey, this is going to be Cowboy Bebop, but this is going to be our own story, could have swung it. There are still issues people would have had with. One of the biggest issues was, and this was definitely one of their woke moments, where they decided to just randomly take Faye, who is constantly into men the entire show, and turned her lesbian for some weird reason. They're just like, we're going to do it, you know. Like I said, there's one of the woke aspects of the show. Which, you know, it's kind of hard to get past the agenda pushing part of that, which I understand. A lot of people were upset. I mean, like, that didn't kill it for me. That was far from my issue with this fucking show. Yeah. My issue with the show, if we actually want to talk about the woke part, is that the entire show, for those of you who haven't watched Cowboy Bebop, is on Julia. She is the main character. Even though Spike is the main character, Julia is the main obsession between the protagonist and the antagonist. So, the whole thing is centered around Spike constantly trying to get back to her, and Vicious doing everything he can to keep her away from Spike. About midway through the show, she dies. Like, Spike almost gets her out, she's dead. So, then the entire rest of the show pivots. Dude, bro, let me tell you, if you ever sat down and watched an anime, and there are only few animes that have done this for me, where you watch a fucking episode and it just fucking sits with you forever. You're just like, that episode was amazing. Goku turning Super Saiyan 1 for the first time. Gohan turning Super Saiyan 2 against Cell for the first. Father and Son Kamehameha Wave. Another great example. Another Dragon Ball Z. Fucking the whole goddamn World Tournament with Goku and Frieza fighting together to take out Jiren. Demon Slayer, whenever fucking goddamn Rengoku took on that fucking demon. Like, there are episodes of anime that are just going to sit with me forever. That last episode of Cowboy, the entire episode, is probably one of the best episodes of anime I've ever watched in my life. It's so good. They have the outro song playing almost the entire episode. Or at least whenever the shit starts to go. And you get to finally see the conclusion of, like, fucking Spike and Vicious, like, fuck it, we're doing this, let's go. And it ends without you knowing who won. Like, you see Vicious die. Well, I guess they shouldn't, not knowing who won. You see Vicious die, but at the very end, Spike just, like, looks at the camera and does his finger gun as he's smiling, but he's got blood, he's all fucked up, and he just passed out on the stairs. And then that's it. And I remember whenever that ended, everybody was like, is that it? And the guy literally was like, we wrote something beautiful here. I absolutely refuse to do a second season.
Right.
I didn't want to continue it, which he could have. Like, I mean, they made a shit ton of money. Yeah. Absolutely got renewed for a second season. He's like, I'm not doing it. It's not going to happen. So, no one knows what happened. No one knows Spike is still alive. If Spike actually died, what the fuck went on. But there was just so much, like, heartache in the characters, because it was one of those things where it's like, they've always been there to pull each other out of the shit, And, you know, you always have those anime moments where somebody's like, this is my fight. I've got to take care of it. But the other people still help out anyway. This was this is my fight, and everybody was like, you got to let him fucking do it. Like, as much as it sucks, you got to let him do it. So you got to see people like Jet be really emotional and Faye be really emotional. And she's normally like uptight and doesn't really want to get in Spike's da-da-da-da-da, whatever. And like even she was like fucking, she like took her gun out and fired at the ceiling a couple times. Like, why do you have to leave? And she's like crying and shit. Jet's sitting there with him and fucking tells this story about these two cats. And Jet's like fucking kind of tearing up and shit. And it was, man, dude, it was fucking insane. It was such a good episode. So, but that's like the conclusion. It's like fucking that had to happen. That had to happen. Even if they were going to do a season 2 and bring it into another arc, like that had to be the closeout of arc 1. Vicious or Spike had to die, if not both of them. That had to happen. And in the Netflix adaptation, they kind of centered the entire show around the church scene. The church scene happens pretty early on in the actual show. And in the church scene, it's basically Vicious runs into Spike a little early on, and they end up fighting at this church. But the fight is fucking phenomenal. In the Netflix series, it's a fucking joke. The fight is fucking phenomenal. And the biggest thing is that Vicious kicks Spike out of this church window. And Spike falls all the way down, but before he gets kicked completely out, he lets a grenade out in the church, so it blows up. So that's where you first think that Vicious died. But they both end up getting away, and then you get the fucking conclusion later on. In the Netflix adaptation, now, I guess just to kind of take a couple steps back here, Vicious is like the fucking top dog of the Syndicate without him actually being the top dog of the Syndicate. Like, there's these higher-ups. He gets himself captured so he can get close to the higher-ups, then fucking gets himself freed and kills fucking all the higher-ups. He runs the Syndicate now. They're the fucking ballers. Like, they've got the government in their pocket. They got the cops in their pocket. Everything. They run everything. And and I almost said Cloud. And Spike used to be part of the Syndicate. Okay. And then he got out. And him and Vicious grew up as best friends. They worked together. They were on every assignment together. That's how they knew each other. And then they ran into Julia singing at a club one night, and they both fell for her. So, Spike gets out of the Syndicate because he wants to leave with Julia and get her away because Vicious loves her as well. And he knows that if she goes with Vicious, she's going to end up dying or something's going to happen. And so Vicious sets shit up in order for Spike to get killed. And fucking Spike fakes his own death and then, you know, fucking comes back as a bounty hunter for the Cowboy Bebop. The good old Bebop. So, or the Bebop. It's not Cowboy Bebop. The show's Cowboy Bebop. The Bebop. Want to be correct here. Anyways, so like I said, Vicious is like this guy not to fuck with. Like, everybody's terrified of Vicious. In the Netflix series, they have the fight, which, like I said, was a joke, and then they did the scene that everybody loves because Vicious always uses a katana and Spike always has guns. So Spike has his gun up to Vicious's chest, and then fucking Vicious has like his fucking katana up to Spike's neck. And, like, Spike's on the ground, Vicious is above him and shit like that. And it's, like, an iconic scene. So they do that scene, and it's, like, afterwards, Julia shows up with a gun. And has Vicious back down. Or she shoots Vicious. Yeah, she shoots Vicious. He falls down. She goes up. She throws Spike out the window. And then she takes Vicious and chains him up into a dark room. And says that she's going to keep him alive because as of right now, she's the wife of the king of the Syndicate. And if they never see him, they have to obey her. So she's just going to give out orders that are actually hers, but she's going to say that they're from him. And no one's just ever going to see him. And that was the end of the Netflix show. I'm like, it wasn't even close to the story. Fucking Julia died forever ago. Like, this wasn't even close to the story. And there's so many episodes that are so, like, they try to be spot on. It made no sense. And then the worst part is like, Spike and Jet always have, like, this back and forth, but, like, they always are, like, basically fucking brothers. And at the end of the Netflix fucking show, Spike shows up, sees Jet, and Jet's like, now that I know that you used to be Syndicate, you're fucking dead to me. If I ever see you again, I'll kill you. You're not part of the Bebop anymore. And then leaves. I was like, what the fuck is happening? It was terrible. This terrible show. Terrible show. I don't know why I've watched it again, and I'm sure months from now I'll probably watch it a third time. It will probably happen. I'm one of those people, dude, where if I don't like something, and it's something that I know I like something of it, like I try to watch it multiple times just to dissect every part of it, so I can be like, everything it is that I fucking hate about this. Because like whenever I gave my review on this, I'd only watched it the one time, and I was like, I'm not fucking watching it again, so I might as well do it now. So I'm sure I'll find other things to hate about it, but man, dude, like to me, it just seems like such a woke movement of like fucking let's just get the two main guy characters out of here. Let's bring the chick character. She's the fucking boss now. She runs everything. I was like, if it's not a woke movement, I don't want to just put it directly on a woke movement, but if it's not a woke movement, it's the worst story writing I've ever seen. So I actually honestly hope it was agenda pushing, because then there's at least a reason. There's at least a reason. If there was no agenda pushing, you're a terrible writer. You're just a terrible writer. The story was god awful that you didn't fucking basically fucking copy and paste from the original anime. Anything you did outside of that was awful. It was absolutely awful. So, oh god.
Maybe one day there'll be a good anime movie, but probably not.
I don't think it's gonna happen, man. I think expectations with anime are just too high. I don't think we can get that. I think it has to be a full-on animated movie. Maybe CGI. Yeah. Like, I mean, I know obviously I'm biased because fucking Final Fantasy VII. But like Advent Children to me is the only way I could see something like that working. Like if they wanted to get out of the space of anime. Like CGI animated, maybe. Yeah. But still, man, it had to look good. Like, you know, it had to be a Sonic situation. You can't have Goku come out looking like pre-Sonic, you know, or pre-internet argument Sonic, you know, because people are going to fucking lose their shit. So maybe if we do animated movies that way, there's a possibility. But the way that we're trying now with this real life bullshit, it's not possible, man. There's too many expectations. There's way too much cool shit that happens in fucking anime that you just can't put on screen, and fucking like the amount of money versus just CGI and all that shit in. Yeah. I mean, I would never want to watch a real life recreation of the Rengoku fight from fucking Demon Slayer Mugen Train. Like, or Demon Slayer Mugen Train. Like, it would be terrible. It would be fucking terrible. But a CGI version of it could be pretty fucking lit. Yeah. Not gonna be as good as the anime, but oh man, yeah. But it's been fun watching that show again. Well, the actual show, because as soon as I got done with the Netflix, I went directly to the actual show. I'm like four episodes in. So I was like, oh god, I missed this fucking. Because like, I mean, the fucking intro is iconic. Like fucking people who don't know the fucking tank intro, you're fucking missing out. Like, my daughter loves that goddamn intro, dude. I fucking go to watch that show, and she hears the da-da-da-da-da-da-da, and then she comes running the fuck in here on fucking jazz bass line. She's going, do. Yeah, she comes running in here and just a big old grin on her face, and she's just watching all the shit going on. Oh, man, dude. She fucking loves it. And then the fucking outro song is fucking legendary. I can't tell you how many times I've been playing, like, fucking New World, for instance, and I just got the fucking soundtrack to fucking going, dude. So good, dude. It's so good. But, I mean, as much as you agree or hate, you know what I'm saying, maybe you fucking are more on the quote-unquote woke culture and disagree with what I'm saying. The people have spoken. The show was canceled the week it came out, so... I mean, the people have spoken. So I don't really have to defend it because the people spoke. So, but yeah, it was canceled. Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. 3 weeks. Netflix's live adaptation was abruptly canceled by the streamer less than 3 weeks after premiering. Wow. Yeah, shit canned that quickly, folks. That quickly. Yeah. So before you come to me with all your bitching and crying about my views or whatever, once again, the people have spoken. So I don't know what to tell you. Sucks to suck.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Oh, man. But, and like I said, I love the actors. I think the actors did a great job. I was really excited with everybody that got casted in that movie. But you had to go fuck with greatness, and you don't do that. Right. You don't fuck with greatness.
If they just need to write the same story and have actors do it, and then they would have been good. Or at least okay.
John Cho says Cowboy Bebop's cancellation was very shocking. I mean, you probably thought it was shocking because you were really excited to play one of the coolest fucking anime characters that ever exist. But let me tell you, it wasn't shocking to anybody who loved the anime and watched the Netflix show.
Yeah.
By the time it hit episode 3, we were all going, "Fuck! What did you do?"
That's weird. Like, your target audience is the people that watch the anime. So why would you change anything?
That's the best part. They say that, but they don't mean that. Like, they say that, but they don't mean that at all. That is such a fucking lie. They say that shit all the time. They just want to fucking make it and hope that their fucking audience is going to come save them and come to their rescue with all their bullshit, but no, not happening.
No.
The actual fans spoke up on this one, thank God.
Yeah.
I mean, it's fucking one of the staples in anime history. Like, it's a big fucking deal.
Yeah.
But what I will say is that what I do like about these live adaptations is that it brings it back in the limelight. So my hope is if you're watching this, if you're still watching this at this point, I don't know how many people I've pissed off yet. If you're still watching this at this point, I do highly recommend you finish the Netflix series. And then when you're done with the Netflix series, you go watch the actual anime. And then you will see the differences for yourself and understand why people hate the Netflix series. That being said, that is the only good thing that has happened from these live-action animated movies. And I say that solely basing it off of my own experience, which is that's how I got into Death Note. I watched the live-action movie, or anime, or whatever the fuck it was, and was like, holy fuck, this is amazing. I fucking love Death Note now. Like, I'm a fucking fan. And then I talked to people like Tony, who I knew watched it. I think Tony and Joey even fucking did it for the channel.
Yeah.
And I was talking to them, and they were like, the live action is shit. Like, besides Willem Dafoe, like, the live action is fucking terrible. And I was like, are you serious? No fucking way. So then I was like, well, now I gotta watch the anime. And then I watched the anime, and I was like, the live action's fucking terrible, dude. It's not even close. It's not even close. They butchered so many of those fucking characters. Besides Willem Dafoe, there wasn't anybody fucking redeeming on that goddamn show. So, but yeah, I definitely think that it's at least good for that. And it's happened every time. I mean, I feel like Death Note got some fans due to live action. I'm going to take a wild guess that also Cowboy Bebop got some fans because of the live action, because as soon as it failed, they brought the real Cowboy Bebop to Netflix real fucking quick. Real fucking quick. And then on top of that, I mean, another great example of a terrible fucking animated movie gone terrible and fucking bringing more fans to the populace and then it coming back in the rotation would be Avatar: The Last Airbender. Everybody went and watched that movie, and that was a piece of fucking shit. And that was the first time I'd ever seen anything. Once again, same thing happened. Never watched Avatar: The Last Airbender. Watched the movie, went with Tony. He's a huge fucking fan. And he was like, that movie was terrible. And then I was like, well, fuck, I gotta watch it myself. Now, Team Toph all the way, dude. She's a bitch. She's the bad bitch, dude. She don't fuck around. Her little blind ass fucks shit up, dude. She cracks me the fuck up. She's great. That last scene in the very end of those episodes, I can't remember which episode it was, where she fucking jumps up and she metal bends the fucking ship around her. I was like, bro, like as armor. I was like, dude, she a badass. Let's go. Let's fuck Toph for the win, dude, all day. But that's another one. One live action movie to this day I still have not seen. To this day, live action anime movie. Take a guess on what you think it is. That I have still yet to see and will refuse. I will never watch this movie. It will never happen.
I don't know.
Dragon Ball Evolution. I have not seen. I will not.
Oh, the Dragon Ball movie. Yeah.
Absolutely will not see, dude. Not gonna happen.
I'm sure it's bad. Yeah. I thought your question was what movie have they not made yet that they might make of something?
No,
No. But the Dragon Ball movie. I'm sure it was bad.
Yeah. Man, another really good fucking anime, just because like I'm seeing like a short list of fucking. This is also people search for, dude. Samurai Champloo was so fucking good, dude. I think a lot of people slept on that fucking anime. That anime was so fucking good, dude.
I think I've watched a few episodes of that, if I'm remembering.
Trying to look at some other ones. I remember Big O. Like, I wasn't a fan. I remember Big O. That's one that fucking Brandon kept telling me to watch. Is fucking Gurren Lagann. Never got around to it.
I've not watched that either now.
I don't like the mechs. Like, I'm not a big mech person.
Yeah, me neither.
Didn't care for that. So, but apparently Gurren Lagann's like where it's at according to him. What was the name of that one? Oh, Jesus Christ. When did Cowboy Bebop come out? 1998 to 1999. Alright, so 1990s animes. That's back whenever fucking anime was at its fucking peak.
Classics.
You remember Case Closed, dude? I watched some Case Closed.
I watched a bit of that, yeah.
Yeah, that wasn't bad. What the fuck is SpongeBob on here?
Because it's animation.
Trigun, dude. Trigun. I watched the fuck out of some Trigun whenever I
watched the first episode of that. Yeah. It looked like it was good.
And Inuyasha, dude. Inuyasha, dude. Fuck yeah, dude. I fucked with some Inuyasha. Hell yeah. I fucked with some Inuyasha big time.
I think they just made a sequel to Inuyasha recently, too.
Did they really?
I believe so, yeah.
That's weird. I think it is.
I don't know if it's any good. It's just kind of like making the sequel to Naruto. Like, I think Tony still refuses to watch that Boruto.
Yeah, probably. If it's something he said he's never gonna do, he's never gonna do it. But that's one thing I can say about the guy. He's fucking consistent with that. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, there's a lot of fucking animes on this list that I'm like, fuck, dude. I fucked with this. And there's a lot that I'm like, I have no idea what the fuck this is.
Yeah, true. There's always a ton of them.
Although, I didn't see this, but the record of the Lodos War looks pretty fucking cool, actually. I might have to look into this. See what it was about. Looks like a little medieval anime.
Yeah. Yeah, I think so, yeah.
It looks pretty cool. Man, dude. It's funny, I was sitting there doing that with my daughter earlier, where I was sitting there showing her like fucking intros, because like I was obviously doing the Cowboy Bebop intro, and then I went into like Demon Slayer and da 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 da, and it was just one of those things where it's like I started showing her like the old cartoons I used to watch. So I did like Courage the Cowardly Dog and Ed, Ed and Eddie. Right. I was like, this is what your daddy used to watch when he was a kid. Hell yeah, dude. And she was just watching Courage, just smiling at him. I was all like, yeah. I was like, I used to watch the fuck out of some Courage, dude. Now I go back and I look at Courage, I'm like, it does not surprise me I'm into this, the creepy shit that I am. Like, but again, I have Courage the Cowardly Dog to thank for that shit, dude. That show was creepy as fuck as a kid.
I actually watched a little bit of that, surprisingly for me.
That is surprising for you.
I know.
Yeah, dude, this Lodos War looks fucking good, dude. It looks like they made a game of it, too.
A good old anime, if you like. Dungeons and Dragons is the Slayers. I don't know if you ever watched that.
I did not watch the Slayers, no.
Oh, yeah. It was featured, the manga was featured in, like, Dragon Magazine, like the Dungeons and Dragons magazine at the time.
Really?
Yeah, and then they made a show of it. It's pretty good. Pretty good.
So this fucking anime looks good, though. I think I'm gonna check this shit out, dude. When do we get Shield Hero Season 2? Did that come out yet?
Yes.
Okay.
I think people said one section of it took so long to resolve that it kind of drug down the rest of the season. Something about a turtle. And I think it was one of those.
As in, like, one of the arcs just took forever to fucking conclude?
It was like one part of an arc took, like, 3 or 4 episodes to get through, and so it's one of those kind of almost filler situations where they just spent too much time on it, and it drove the hype down immediately, and so a lot of people didn't even stay for the rest of the season.
That's unfortunate, dude.
Yeah, it is. It's one of those.
Cause Shield Hero season 1 is the shit, dude. That fucking
it was good.
Anime fucking. I'm literally looking at the record of the Lotus War, and fucking the second YouTube video, which was made in December 7th, 2019. The title of the video is "The Record of Lotus War Still Slaps." All against. Apparently, it still slaps, dude. I'm gonna check it out. It's on Funimation, so I got Funimation.
There you go.
I need to do that thing where, like, because they're part of Crunchyroll now, so I need to convert my account over or whatever the fuck it is I have to do.
Yeah, I did that already. Yeah. Well, I already had Crunchyroll, and then we had Funimation too, but then Funimation's going to Crunchyroll, so we canceled Funimation.
Yeah, I think that's what I need to do is just cancel Funimation, then just make a Crunchyroll.
Yeah.
Yu Hakusho, dude. That was another one. I remember that one. Wasn't my favorite, but I remember it. Yeah, I'm going to have to check out this fucking anime, dude.
And then maybe, if you're really feeling like it, you can give Fairy Tail more of a chance, you know?
I don't know, man. If I ever did, that's so far on the back burner. Like, I am behind on My Hero Academia.
Right.
I am at least a season and a half. I am a season, or more like half a season behind on Demon Slayer. I am a full season behind on Attack on Titan. And those are animes I actually want to watch. So,
right, yeah, exactly.
I mean? Like,
exactly. I know what you mean.
I'm watching Cowboy Bebop again, so I gotta get through that. Blaz Blue, dude. That's another good one. That's a good anime. Yeah. That guy's another one of those cloud stereotype-ish type characters. So, yeah, he's a good one. But, yeah, there's just, man, dude, there's so many fucking... I don't know, man. I get my binge situations, right? Where it's like, I'm weird about that. Where it's like, I want to watch anime, and this is all I'm going to watch is anime for like months. I'm just watching anime.
Yeah.
And then I get into situations where I'm like, all right, now I just want to watch sitcoms. And that's all I do is just watch sitcoms. Or I want to watch like fucking some drama shit. Give me some drama shit.
Yeah.
Man. Like I just got through watching the show The Patient with Steve Carell, where he's a therapist, and he ends up seeing this new person who is basically admitting to him that he's killed people. Oh. And then, like, Steve Carell wakes up the next day in this dude's basement. And he's got him chained up and shit like that.
What?
Pretty fucking good show. It's a Hulu exclusive. So,
wow.
It's pretty fucking good. Not gonna lie.
Sounds crazy. Crazy.
I love me some Steve Carell. Dude's my guy. Ever since The Office, that dude's got my fucking vote on whatever the fuck he does, dude. That dude's a fucking beast. But yeah, good old Steve Carell. I was actually watching, because I was just looking for something. I was, I was doing something tedious yesterday, and I can't remember what the fuck it was. And so I was just looking for something random to throw on, and I threw on Anchorman 2, and I was just like, oh, this fucking movie, dude. I remember this fucking movie. So... oh, well. Well, I guess we'll go ahead and wrap it up here. It's going to be a short episode. We got another one to record right after this, but I guess that's been your week before Thanksgiving anime episode, blah, blah. Yeah. Actually, I don't think it is. This is the Thanksgiving episode. We didn't even talk about Thanksgiving, dude. Look at us. Jesus. I guess we'll do that right quick. One, what is your favorite Thanksgiving food?
Ham, just straight ham. I like the ham. Turkey, nah, not as good.
So gross. I actually used to love turkey until I went to a Thanksgiving. It was not my family's Thanksgiving. I went to a Thanksgiving party, and the person cooked the turkey wrong. I don't even think it was cooked personally. I got violently ill.
Yeah,
violently ill. We're talking Chris in nothing but a robe for like 3 to 4 days, basically living in the bathroom ill.
Yeah, that's bad.
Yeah, it was not fun. It was the worst of times. So ever since then, it's kind of ruined fucking Thanksgiving turkey for me. So now whenever I see a Thanksgiving turkey, I just get sick to my stomach.
That's
I can
rough.
still do like deli meat turkey and stuff like that. Like I have turkey on sandwiches all the damn time, but I can't.
Yeah.
Nah, can't do that. But that being said, my favorite Thanksgiving food would be stuffing, hands down. But this year, I'm actually doing more of like a Texas Thanksgiving, if you will. So we're still going to have turkey for the people who want to have turkey, but your boy getting a fucking steak and some twice baked potatoes and some fucking macaroni and cheese and some stuffing, dude. Let's go. That's going to be my plate on Thanksgiving. So when you're watching this episode and you're wondering what's Chris eating on Thanksgiving, now you fucking know.
There you go.
Now you know. Some medium rare steak with twice baked potatoes, mac and cheese, and some fucking stuffing, dude.
That sounds great.
Go. Exactly, dude. Exactly. And I cook my own steak. I pick my own steak out. I'm big on steak, dude. I fucking love it. It's great. Whenever I worked at the convenience store that I used to work at, when they started it sounds terrible. I know I've told the story before, so I won't go too deep into it. But when they started to sell fresh meat, I know fresh meat at the convenience store, you're like, I'm gonna dodge that. No, we were really clean. We did not keep meat in for a long time at all. But I used to bring home so much steak from there because like we would keep the food out on the fresh case for like a week and a half, if that, and then it went right into the freezer. And then whenever something went into the freezer, the employees got it for half off. So I'm getting like $12, $14, $18 steaks for half off.
Nice.
Bro, like, let's ribeye. Like, let's go. Dude. So every time I pulled a ribeye off, I would just pull a marker out. Chris. And I was bringing that shit home. Oh, my God. Because they gave everybody as an employee thank you gift at the Christmas party. They gave everybody a set of like a grill spatula and cleaning brush and tongs, and a whole grill kit basically. So I was like, you know what? Fuck it, dude. I'm going to get into grilling. And the first thing I grilled ever was chicken. I did a Spanish tarragon chicken. And I served it over Spanish rice with a little bit of salsa. And my buddy, who at the time was really, really big into grilling and just cooking in general, he gave me a grill book that had recipes. So I pulled the recipe out of that, and I wish I still had that book to this day because that recipe was fucking fire. But I can't even remember all the fucking things to it now. Which does suck because, like, I even did what I did that was really good. So, I mean, I guess first off, I brought him a full piece of chicken, Spanish rice, and salsa as a thank you for the book. And I brought it up to him there at work because he was working that night. And I was like, I fucking saw him the day before. I was like, hey, you work tomorrow, right? And he's like, yeah. He's like, I'm working the night shift. I was like, all right, don't bring him lunch. I got you. And he's like, really? I was like, yeah, I got you. So showed up with this big ass container of rice, had the chicken laid on it, and then the fucking salsa on top of the chicken. Had some tortillas in case he wanted to, do a little tortilla flavor in there.
Right.
And he's like, "Oh my God, dude!" He's like, "This is some of the best chicken I ever tasted." He's like, "You did this?" And I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "On your first go?" And I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "How'd you do it?" So for me, whenever it comes to chicken, I'm one of those people where like I like the taste of just chicken. Like chicken tastes good. So whenever you go to places where they like over season it and there's no chicken taste, it's just the season taste, like it's okay, but it's not where it could be. So like what I did was that my recipe called for me to marinate the chicken for 7 hours, and I cut the time in half. Yeah. So I only marinated it for half the time, and then whenever I grilled it, I put it in aluminum foil, and then I poured marinade in there with it, so that way it kept it juicy. And then I did the, flipping it and the grilling it in the aluminum foil. And so when I pulled it out, man, I mean, bro, you're fucking... There was no dry in your mouth with that, dude. That's for sure. That fucking dish was lit. Oh, God damn it. I wish I still had that recipe. It was so good.
Too bad you don't remember the name of the book. You could probably look it up.
Yeah. I mean, there's so many fucking grill books out there now. I remember the color of the book, and that's it. That's all I remember.
Yeah.
I barely remember that. No, it was so long ago. But oh well, that's what we're going to be doing for Thanksgiving. Now you guys know this is the Thanksgiving episode. I'm taking the week off. I'm super excited about it. I'm one of those people where like whenever I have vacation days, I like to use my vacation days where it makes sense. And by that I mean I don't work holidays, and I get the day after Thanksgiving off, and then I also have the 2 weekends off because I have every weekend off. So I'm like, if I burn 3 days of PTO, I have Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday off. 3 days for 9 days. That's I can do that.
Yeah, that's good. Good planning.
So I'll be fucking up some New World. I'm actually kind of upset that New World came out as early as it did. I'm not gonna lie, because I'm gonna have all this free time and I'm gonna hit max level probably pretty close to before I actually have that time off. Like my sword, my great sword's already a 619 gear score.
Yeah,
and
that's good.
Like I have 600 expertise in all my armor. And I'm almost 600 expertise in my great axe. And then I think I'm like 650 is the lowest to 670 as the highest in my jewelry. So I think I'm going to end up hitting max like well before. Because we're about to start running mutators here shortly. And fucking, I mean, the GG's, that's done. Like I'm 625. Like that's happening. Like it's done. Fucking closed book. It's a wrap. So I'm going to get to my vacation and not have anything to do on fucking New World as far as grinding goes. I mean, there's other weapons I kind of want to fuck around with. Like, kind of want to get my Warhammer up because I think Warhammer could be like a nice little side weapon to have with the greatsword, but we'll see what happens. But either way, we're going to go ahead and wrap this podcast up. If you guys enjoyed this podcast, make sure you like, you subscribe, you turn on the notifications. Let us know in the comment section below, what the fuck are you eating for Thanksgiving? What are you going to be doing for Thanksgiving? What are you thankful for? Things like that. And don't worry, Dead Funny will have tons of content for you to make sure that you put your headphones on and tune out your boring uncle stories and, you know, the aunt that pesters you to always get married and everything else that's going on and ask how you're constantly doing all the time. Don't worry. We'll be here to supply you some fucking content. That's right. Some content. Because on Wednesday, we will have our... Is that the Mario movie? I think that might be the Mario movie review show. And on Thursday will be another episode of The Mortuary Assistant.
Scary.
Yeah. And then that following Friday, which will be the day after Thanksgiving, should potentially be Outlast. I think it should be the actual Outlast Trials beta, closed beta, that we were lucky enough to get into. Where me, James, and JJ got to experience the horrors of the police station trial. And man, did we have a great time. You guys are really going to enjoy that fucking show. But make sure you check that out. But other than that, I hope you guys have a great week. See you next time.